All right, let's do this thing. Get set up. I think we need a stream intro. That's seems to be a thing that people do, and I should do it, but never have. So next time. Okay. So how do we get chat up? It's a lot I need to learn. You know what? I did this last time where I messed it up. Hey, Photo, how you doing? Good to see ya. It's yeah, it's only been 20 hours or so. But let me see. Hold on. Really need to sort my stuff out. Fast has had so many years doing this, learning how. It's yeah, there's a lot involved, but so I need to. Fast has told me I need to get chat up so I can follow along and like see what you guys are doing. And she's 100% right. But right now I'm trying to make it work with my phone. Um, my channel. I should ask Fast how to do this. But all right, here we go. We got Goldie here. Hey man, good to have you. Spiral, Sasquatch, nice. And Mashup Man. Hey, Mashup Man. I think that's actually the first time you've been in this stream, maybe. We've seen you in some other streams before. But, oh man, the day's been good. I'm writing up a new project proposal for something at work. So that's fun. And then today's like the payroll day, so that's not fun because you got to watch the money go out of your account. And it's like when I run my business, I stagger it so that it kind of like goes in these fortnightly cycles, and I do payroll and then invoicing and then payroll and then invoicing. So every Monday you have something kind of stressful, but at the same time, it's yeah, it's a bit it's different, because it's a different kind of stress. It's like making sure that everything's right and the money goes out with the payroll, and it's the opposite with like incoming monies. But anyway, got it done, and then did project proposal stuff, and so now it's some time for streaming, and I figure I'm gonna go and make some. Um, don't forget to change the stream title. Yeah, thank you, Jacob. I'm still like figuring a lot of this stuff out. And I definitely knew I needed to do that, but how you do it is a whole other thing. When I set the stream up initially, it had a little window for it, but now that window is not there. So I'm still trying to like figure out where exactly to where to do that. Does anybody in chat know how to set a stream title? Do I have to go through like the Twitch website or maybe like Stream Manager? No, it's not that. Maybe it is actually, because I am seeing chat here now. Actually, yeah, that's perfect. Stream Manager. Let's go with that thing. Um, yeah, cool. I mean, Stream Manager is doing something weird where it's not trying to get it all up on my phone, guys, so that I can kind of follow along as you message and whatever, but um, it is forcing me to stay in portrait. I can work with that. I can work with that. We can work with that. Oh my gosh, it's fast. Can you guys pick it up yet? The pattern? We're setting it up so that she kind of raids, and I'm just gonna like when she's done and ready to go, I'm gonna jump in and take on over from her. Man, look, at you all. It's always a bit of a shock to see so many people just suddenly jump in. Really cool to see. How's it going, guys? Welcome, welcome. Um, so, what should we do today, guys? I feel like picking up where we left off last time. We had that little program that was reading chat. Look, I have chat.
Oh my god, you do have a chat.
Yes, and I see the number of people,
That
even
is
though that
very-
is
that
up,
is-
out
you
of date,
could
I
do
think.
that.
Um,
Hmm?
it's out of date. It only says 6 viewers, but I'm pretty sure there's more. Where's your chair?
Oh, you brought it downstairs and I forgot to bring it up.
Want me to go get it while you say hello to your people? As
No. Absolutely not.
All right.
We're gonna go to a website and change your stream title.
How do you do that?
You can also do it here, actually.
Edit stream info. Okay.
You
Yes.
can change it to whatever you want, but
That's
you're no longer at
perfect.
that game
I
jam.
am not at that game jam. Thank you for catching that. I think last stream it was wrong too.
You can change that after you stream, and you can always update it while you stream.
Can I do it from inside of Twitch?
Like inside the computer?
Inside the computer? Like
Yeah.
him, y'all?
Yep, go dashboard, create a dashboard.
Create a dashboard. The
And then
dashboard
your
for
stream
creators,
manager.
manage stream. This one?
Yep, sure that works too.
Yep.
And then you can see that edit thing.
Oh, hell yeah. This is way better. Maybe
Yeah, so
I'll
you
just
can
use this
pop that
instead of the
out.
other thing.
Well, that's what I mean. Like I pop out chat. That's basically popping out chat.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that pen down there will let you change the stream title.
All right, excellent. Yeah, that's what we wanted. So we are
Making a square jar.
AI. What are we doing? We're making an AI integrated day 2 of 2. All right, cool. Excellent. Well then, all right, what should we do? I think today, let's recap what we had before so you all can, anybody who's new can follow along. We chose Play It Shady, who happens to swear a freaking lot, which was perfect because we need a person who swears. So can you all help me figure out somebody new to check this out for? Who swears on Twitch and is live right now? That's the trick. We gotta learn that.
You should try and figure out how you can make something so you can get permission from somebody who's streaming.
That would be good. Yep.
That was definitely how they do it.
Because
Remember how we talked about it?
Mhm.
Dev said something about it, and we were like, yeah, you can actually just have something that
Yeah.
they then put like a browser extension that just reads the microphone.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah. So, like we were talking with Deb, and she's totally right. Because right now, what happens in the loop of this thing, and I'll break it down for you all so you can see it at a high level, is there's this. I wrote this thing that kind of resolves the. Let's open up in Writer instead, so that this is clearer. It resolves the access token. So every different Twitch stream will have its own different access token. And so what you need to do is, like, when a stream is live, you can use the username to figure out what that is. So at the moment, we've got our own little client ID and stuff. We essentially like read stuff in to figure out what that access token is. And then from that, we can do an audio reader. So we read the audio from the live Twitch chat. But what Dev was saying is it'd be really cool if instead of doing all of that, you just read it straight from the microphone, so the response time would be way lower. Because right now, if my program is going to read what people are saying, it has to wait for it to get captured, get sent out over Twitch, and people are getting the reader is getting the audio at the same time as you guys are getting the audio, which is actually fairly delayed. And then it has to have another overhead of processing time on top of that. So if that's really going to work, then when the swear jar goes off, it could be like 30 seconds after the person said the swear word. And I realized though, when people donate and stuff, you play sounds anyway. It could be that when it goes off, it just like replays the sounds like 5 seconds leading up to it, and then 5 seconds after, and then bleeps the swear word so that people know what it is. But another great solution would just be to to do what Dev said and make it work in real time, so that basically like almost immediately it does some kind of bleep or set something off.
It would actually be pretty funny if you do the thing where you give permission and you just read the microphone that like a direct microphone feed.
Yeah.
You could have it record.
Yeah.
And you know how in games you can do the last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Of
yeah, like exactly.
It does a replay of like your swear, so you're like fuck, and then it'd be like fuck, and it'd be like and then until you stop, you're like.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. We could capture the video as well.
Yeah, just like.
And then replay the video and the person swearing as like a.
Well, you'd then have to give back. I don't think people would give access to their webcam freely, but.
Well, but that's the thing that you don't need to. You can just replay the stream itself.
Okay.
The whole thing, like.
Yes, but then you're also gonna get all of the audio from the games, the music they're playing. Yes, that like I think you should really try and just do the thing because this is what they did. I think how they did it with the. You could probably do it for your own stream and just figure out how they do it by finding subtitles, a live subtitle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what we're doing is essentially as close as we can get to live subtitles with the hacky things. The other thing is, I don't want to make this too complicated. Right now, I just want to do a cool proof of concept that I think will be fun, that sits on your stream, on screen, and just lets us know when stuff is happening. And that would be like A-OK as a first thing. This is all very hacky, guys. This is not like this is the kind of thing that just runs in a console. So, but let's show you all what it is. We have to first find a person on Twitch who's likely to swear. Play It Shady happens to be online, so that gal never stops and swears profusely. So perfect. So let's run it. So yeah, you guys can see it happening now. It's resolving the URL first. Once it has that, it's loading the model. So this model is the AI model. It's like the brain for what the AI, how it's been trained to think. And then, yeah, you can see it working now. So we've got our little timestamp, and then we've got what's going on at the moment. It's just, there's upbeat music playing apparently in that stream. So yeah, okay, she said okay. And then eventually as she keeps talking, it's going to, if she swears, okay, took like 1 second.
Second line of text.
Took like 1 second. This girl's, yeah, she's definitely the use case for this. That's hilarious. So Mashup Man is asking if I'm using a local LLM or if it's an online service. And yes, I am using a local LLM. I'm using something called Whisper. So I'll show you what this is if you want to look at it yourself, guys. There's so I actually really like the OpenAI tools, and so I've used Whisper, which is a pretty good one. And you don't even like need to understand all this to really work with it.
Oh, Tori, you like it? Yeah, I know, right? I need to stop swearing as much. I feel like every Aussie streamer would be like, I need this for my brand deals.
Yes.
I need to do less. Wasn't there somebody proved? Oh, Lazybeam literally did an interview recently. He said I lost so much money on YouTube because of how much I swore versus people who didn't swear because YouTube gave them a better ad rate. Right. It was easy to market it to children.
Right, look, she swore again just there. It takes like no time at all for this lady to swear. So she's perfect. She's perfect. Whoever recommended this was great. Really good idea. How intensive is Whisper for real time? Fairly intensive. I mean, you guys can have a bit of a peek here at the what's actually happening in terms of performance in the computer. I'd say a lot of this memory usage is, I mean, yeah, not that much. We could profile it if you were really, really curious, Recti. We would set up profilers in code. So we'd write, around the Whisper transcriber, which is the thing that I've written to do this. We could write a little bit of code that just goes and finds the performance bottleneck. Hey, that's my job. That's my job. Dang it. But yeah, there's this, let's see, there's this writer. We would performance, no, we wouldn't do that. It's not there, it's this process async. That's going to be the bottleneck. So when we've got some, things, when we've got code and algorithms, you essentially, especially when optimizing, you focus in on the thing that causes the most amount of performance, causes the computer to do the most amount of thinking, and you pretty much say like, how complex is this thing, and you focus on optimizing that. So if we really did want to make it less intense, Recti, we'd be looking at this particular method and profiling it to see how quickly it runs. And then yeah, trying to improve it. But I'd say some amount of the performance that we saw there with the 20% CPU usage will be like the operating system, Chrome, the fact that I'm using OBS to stream and all of that. But then a little bit of that is also this, and so it seems to be pretty good. But also keep in mind, this is doing a really far from perfect job. It's like it's probably missing a lot of stuff. If I were to pull her stream up and run it, you guys would see that she says stuff that won't appear here, and that's just a failure of this system. It's just not that good yet, but it's good enough. It's good enough for what we need. But what I think we're going to focus on, and we don't have a huge amount of time today to stream for ages, but we've got a fair bit. And what I want to do with it is maybe look at the front end and figure out what we're going to do when this actually happens. Because the idea will be, next step is we're going to make like a website essentially, and make it so that you can put your streamer's name in, and then the next thing that will happen is it will like go and listen to this, it will show you the text, and then it needs to make some kind of like alert happen when profanity is detected. So that's probably next. So if I do that now, you know what? Actually, first I'm going to demonstrate how flawed this is. I want to get a bit of a read of how well this is performing. So Shady is a perfect example of a person who swears heaps, but maybe for now we're going to focus on just like seeing how accurate it is before we move on to so we use our own stream. Before we move on to implement the front end, I just want to have a little bit more time looking at how this performs and see if we want to improve it a little bit further. But if not, we'll just stick with it as it is. And so there it goes again. It's doing the same resolution, finding the token and going on to connect. Yeah, gaming plus streaming is already intensive, so I was thinking a more optimized speech to text like Google's one. Yeah, I really like where your head's at, Recti, but the final, like the final, well, I'm not going to say final solution, but the solution that I would want to move to for this is putting this whole software suite in the cloud, so that it runs remotely and it's not something that we have to, like any streamer has to run on their own computer. They can kind of just go to a website, they can put their own username in, and then they can basically see what I'm seeing down here. So yeah, this is not too bad, but for instance, if we don't see the words "not too bad" come up, that's an example of where it missed something that I said, right? So let's see if it does that. And you can also see how delayed it is too, because I'm saying things right now and it's going to take some time to think about it, and then we're going to see the words. So for instance, like I'm going to, how about I do this? I'll count down from now and we'll see how long it takes before the things that I say show up here on the recorded text. So, all right, ready? Just we'll stop. I'm going to stop talking, and now we'll go 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi. So 10 seconds. That took all the 10 seconds before we saw the word Mississippi. And of course, it's full of bugs. So, oh my God, what a giant just error dump here. And it looks like it was FFmpeg. So that's what I'm using, guys, to make this run. It drowned in the Mississippi. Yeah, it did. It did mash up, man. That's quite the stack trace. Yeah. Okay, but it's 10 seconds, and honestly, I'm okay with that. I think if a person gets told that they swore with the swear jar thing a good 10 seconds after they they swear, that's not too bad. That's not too bad, guys. So here, what do we got? We got, all right, 10 seconds, how she's on her normal setup. Have we tried dev stream? think you're. What are you referring to there, Burlap? I see you've got a question there, but yeah, Jess, it's not too bad. It's like 10 seconds. I think I can work with this. So, all right, the next thing, so that let's keep this fun. Let's say we're going to run this in a web server. So the next thing would be to like, let's actually make it. We've kind of got a proof of concept here for this application. Let's see. So we're going to, what are we working in? Let's just copy the path here instead of trying to find. So we've got voice to text. We are going to need a front end. So let's Twitch voice to text. You know what, actually, it is probably smart to keep the concept of profanity filters and voice to text as separate ideas. I've kind of just integrated the profanity filter into the voice to text. So, I mean, if I was really to do this, I'd probably go and refactor some of this stuff out into clear libraries, and that might even just be a useful thing to do. Yeah, let's do that. We should be neat about this. What are we going to call it? Let's call it swear jar. And yeah, we should. So we're going to make it a. We're going to make it. I don't even know if I have .NET installed. I sure hope I do. So we'll see what version we have. We don't. So we're going to need to install the SDK. Sorry guys, this isn't my computer I usually work on. But what we'll do is get this set up. I mean, we also need to, I don't even know what version this project's set up with. So we can figure that out pretty quick though. .NET 9. So we're going to have to get .NET 9 and get that installed. Then after that with, let's see. Once we've got .NET 9 installed, I'll be able to, or I can just do this the easy way. Yeah, let's do it the easy way. Since we're all watching, you guys don't want to watch me set up SDKs. But we do want to, let's see, .NET 9, C#. We're going to make a new class library there. So yeah, class library in the swear jar folder. That's what we called it. In stream tools, swear jar. Yeah, okay, so we'll call this swear jar, and from that we'll add that project. I made a solution where I only really just wanted the project. So, ooh, guys, look. It's a new mic.
Yeah, because that's horrible. I have max volume, can barely hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. We're fixing it. I swear. Oh no, we're going to run into issues with USB ports.
I have.
But I can.
I have a thing.
Fass has all of the things. She's a man. If anybody ever wants to go stream, then step one, get a sister that has all of the equipment and an amazing community. And then you just, that's a shortcut. Nepotism, right? That's how the world works, I'm afraid. But yeah, yay for me, I guess. Okay, upgrades, baby upgrades. Hell yeah. Nepo streamer. It actually is like that. God, I hope I can make some interesting content for you guys though, so it's not just a love of fast that makes this work. I think I can probably do some things that are genuinely interesting. which would be cool if I can manage that. So where are we at? While Fast gets that. So I butchered this, guys. I meant to put these things in here, but I didn't. And you know what? I even don't want that stuff. We're just gonna go, oh man, 2 layers up. This is why the command line's nice instead of that other stuff. Yeah, okay, cool. Let's add that project. Now we have swear jar. And let's move our profanity filter out. Let's make this reference that. How do we do that in Writer? I mean, we can just do it here, but let's not do that because we're not that good. We're just gonna do it like this. Reference. And then we should be refactoring here to, I mean, it's like, yeah, no namespaces. So no problemo. That's its own problem, isn't it? Oh, Fast is coming to chill. Coming to join us. Ooh. Look, guys. We're good, but that means we're going to lose webcam for a moment, potentially. Oh, we don't necessarily have to. What would you like to disconnect? Probably the Stream Deck, since I'm not using that, yeah. I have to learn to Stream Deck first, guys. So which one is Stream Deck? I think it's this. Yes, correct. Goodbye, Stream Deck. Hello, microphone. Here it is.
I might need to find you a USB 3 to USB-C because I think that microphone is finicky if it doesn't get one of those.
If it doesn't get a proper USB-C, huh?
USB 3.
I mean, did I not see some blue?
Blue's on this end.
Right.
But that's white, so I think that's USB 2. But we'll have to see because
USB 2.
It could still work better than the microphone on the webcam.
Yeah, let's find out.
And also, that one I always use with a program too. I don't know how it works plug and play. I'm hoping it doesn't need anything.
Surely it will. That should be fine. Okay, guys, we're doing a bit of impromptu cable management. Like so. And then, what else have we got? Where did Steam Deck's cable go?
You don't have to, you're not going to use it, right?
No,
for this stream, so just doesn't matter for now.
True. And okay, hopefully audio gets fixed. Ooh. Boop, boop. And then this goes meow. And that goes meow. Ooh. Okay, guys, sorry we're fiddling around with audio settings, but nothing yet.
That's what I mean, like I don't know how it works plug and play too well.
Okay, we're gonna see. Can you all hear me now? Is it any different?
You can see it there, audio capture.
Yes, I see that, but I want to know if it's any better. Nope, the same.
Well, you may not have selected.
Yeah, I did default, but sound input devices. That might be USB 3 right there.
I guess you'll never know. It's black.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Though possible. Okay.
What do you have that's iOS?
Nothing, but I do have a Beats headphone.
And one that uses the lightning?
Yeah. Ooh, Fast was totally right. It does need fancy USB. Okay. Nearly there, guys.
think it already sounds better. Maybe. Or maybe.
Okay, there we go. That's the new mic. Okay, there we go.
Oh yeah, that's way louder.
That's the new mic. How's that?
And clear and sexy.
Just have to use my bassy voice.
Is that better?
Is that different? Yeah. I think everybody's already like, way better. Much better. Hell yeah. Well, thanks. Thanks, Fast.
We got stream title
Thanks,
and
guys.
a new microphone.
Yeah, look at us improving.
I need to shuffle over so
Improvements.
I can off the stream.
All right, awesome. Cool. All right. So we've moved profanity filter out. We've got our models. We've got, I mean, we should probably do some housekeeping and get rid of the, yeah, what are we using? We're not using Vosk anymore, so we can probably delete these giant models. Like Giga Speech. Lol. But yeah, okay, we need a web front end for this thing. What should we use? I want to maybe use maybe I'll use Blazor. Should we use Blazor?
I mean, I'm wearing one.
Vass is wearing one. That's true.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, so Blazor is we have to make a front end for this. If we want this to like sit in a person's stream and like light up when somebody swears or something, we're going to have to design a front end.
The front end is an alert, a noise that triggers.
Yes, the front end is like,
is
exactly. But that, I think it's the form of a web page, right? You showed me with stream elements, you add a browser source. Yeah. Exactly, yeah. So we have to make something that works in a web browser. And there are all sorts of different technologies that can do that. I think the one that might be fastest for me to use, and you know, I'm already using C#, so I may as well integrate with it, is to make a web application. And the tech I think I'll choose is called Blazor. So we'll make this the swear jar, and we'll make it like front end or like the website.
Browser source is what anybody like I would know it as.
The web, yeah, swear jar browser. I think in terms of programming, you like.
Like, am I ever going to see this as a streamer? Like, I guess.
No, the streamer's never going to see this. Yeah. But from a programming standpoint, we might just want to call it like.
Chat. What would you call it?
Yeah, we can see what chat thinks about this. True. In fact, maybe no echo. Less echo. Yeah, great. I think I'll call it presentation. Yeah, we're going to call it presentation. And we'll see what this has done with our folder structure, because in Stream Tools, swearjar.presentation, and then really this Twitch voice to text could stay like that. It might be a reusable module that we do later in other things. Like the number of things we can use with a good like voice to text thing would be freaking awesome. Oh, look at this. I haven't even been following this. This isn't telling me that people followed.
But yeah.
Thanks, guys. So I've got heaps of new followers from this.
This is your list of things to do, is to create alerts for yourself, which is what you're kind of coding, which is funny.
Yeah, I think a custom alert system could be really cool. But until then, I need something. You made the same point. I need to set up alerts. It's already there on my to-do list.
Because then you can say, hey, I want to be notified when people follow so I can thank them. Or,
yeah, exactly.
When you get affiliate, when people subscribe and whatever else.
Yep. All right, so...
You can do it right now. Calvinese, thanks for the follow. Cobrak Fank, thanks for the follow.
Hold on. Do I need to... Yeah, true. Oh my god, so much going on here. So much going on here.
Welcome to Overload. That's way long ago.
Oh, I'm going in the wrong direction.
You're at days. Yep. Just some guy, Richard. Thanks for the follow, guys.
Well,
Han Solo.
Yep, just some guy. We got Calvinize as well. You already said that, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, welcome.
Boss Wolf.
Welcome, everyone. That's pretty,
Shadow followed you 5 hours ago. That's huge. You weren't even online.
Yeah, why? How did they find me?
Me.
Ah, nice, nice.
But you did miss in a first-time chatter. Where can I start learning how to code?
Yeah, good question. Who's asking here?
She has this first-time chatter. It's all sparkly and boxed.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. Bolchana, Bolachan, right freaking here. Right here is where you can learn. But it depends. What kind of coding do you want to do? If you can tell me that, I can probably point you in a better direction. Do you want to make computer games? Do you want to make websites? Do you want to make what? He wants to create a sentiment analysis in Twitch. I'm extracting a comment from Twitch comments, and then I will make a Veda model to get the result. Where can I start learning how to program? It sounds like you're already pretty far into it. I mean, some of this the Twitch voice to chat program, like right here, this is a good starting point. You could start with trying to make something like this, because once you have the text, then you can do your sentiment analysis. So essentially, yeah, you need to start extracting stuff, and then sentiment analysis is whole other, it's a whole other kettle of fish. But yeah, there's some really good libraries out there that can do it. There's some really good statistical models that you can use but AI sentiment analysis is probably the way to do it. I would say definitely experiment with that if you want to try and do that. But yeah, have a look at some of this code. Maybe I should put this up online, make it public. Maybe I can make it available so you can just clone and run this yourself for that sentiment analysis stuff, because it's pretty damn close to this. And thank you for the follow, by the way. You could definitely integrate Gemini with it. Sentiment analysis, I wouldn't necessarily use Gemini out of the box, because it's more general purpose. Although you could use it, I'd look for something specific. Do a little bit of research on what the best sentiment analysis tool is and go with that.
I'm sorry, I don't know about that. I'm going to leave.
Yep.
This has got nothing to do with you.
Fast is out. Bye, Faz.
Bye now. You're also alienating other people. That's what I gotta say.
Yeah. Fair enough. Trying to answer that question, but Fast is absolutely right. Maybe I'm asking a little too specific stuff, but also you nerdy people, you really nerdy people who are into the Cody stuff, you are my people, and that's my kind of question. So maybe that's fine. But yeah, okay. Let's start with, we'll run this new website that we've got and take it from there. Because I think the first thing to do is going to be strip it out. We've got our Hello World thing. We don't need weather reports. We don't need counters. We don't need any of this noise. What we want to do is make something really simple and go from there. So we've got our pages. We've got home. This is Hello World, our new Blazor app. We've got our page title. Where's the nav bar coming in? It's going to be somewhere here where, all right, that's our main page. We've got our routes. Let's see, route view. We don't need any of that really. Our layout here, this is what we're after. All right, we don't want a sidebar. We don't want any of this nonsense here. We just want our simple body stuff. And yeah, we do want our error handling. So let's have another shot at that. See how this comes out. When it reloads, I should probably set the hot reload up. It's like a thing you can do so that when you make a change, it automatically does its thing. Okay, so now we've got, let's see what we actually got rid of. We got rid of the nav menu. So that can now go because we don't need it. I think let's see, these route with page, so we don't need any of this. I think I'm just gonna delete these as well. And then let's have another rerun. And then it should be a pretty blank project, and we can set this up with something that says we're gonna have to get to the point where we do some stuff with SignalR. Okay, so we've got some questions here, and I should have been focusing more on that. Sorry. you could we talked about Gemini and how you can integrate with it, but it's too general. Look for something specific for sentiment analysis. Veda, yeah, I did actually try Veda in here, but it was faster but less accurate. ASP is, what's it called? It's like ASP, it stands for like server pages. We'll see what it stands for. It's application service provider, maybe? No. It's active server pages. That's what it is. So it's a hosting model essentially. Like this program .cs here, it like sets up a thing to like build a web application and host it. And then you can set up things with like HTTPS redirection and all, like whatever else you want to do. This uses something called Kestrel to just like host a website, and then when we host it later, we can run this in the cloud. So ASP.NET is kind of like all of the web stuff that sits around this web page that we want to work on. So yeah, I think we're getting pretty into it compared to the last time that we were doing stuff, but like, I don't know, it's a little easier. It's just more web development stuff that you guys might actually be able to follow a bit more simply. So, all right, so we should start with something like, I mean, main layout. I did get rid of our index page, didn't I? So I'm going to undo that. The home page is what we want. So we'll get rid of everything but that. We also want the error, don't we? So yeah, we want the error page, but we don't want the counter, and we don't want the weather. So our home page, and let's just make sure this is all working before we go on from there. Yeah. So Razor is it's a rendering system that runs on. So there we do have our website working. It's a rendering system that runs on ASP.NET. So when you like write code, and then essentially the server renders it, and then that returns that as a HTML page. That's what Razor is. What we're using is something a little bit more modern called Blazor, and it can do server-side and client-side rendering, and it's a little bit more sophisticated. It's a bit more like if you guys have used React or something like that, where it's got like elements and stuff that you can write directly into the DOM. That's pretty much what Blazor lets us do, and so we're going to leverage that to make this swear jar, and we'll come up with a concept to make it funny as well, so that we want this thing to be amusing. But yeah, all right, let's go with that. Let's generate some concepts. Does anybody have ideas about what this could look like? I'm talking now about like what the actual what the tip jar should look like. Hey, welcome back, Goldie. We're just now thinking about what this tip jar could work, like how it could work or what it could look like, rather the swear jar. And we already have, like, as reference, we have the tip jar. So I think what I'm going to try and do is come up with some concept here. So any suggestions, or shall I just like prompt something into existence for what this could look like? Actually, while you guys come up with ideas, I'm going to get into some of this food. Fass made me dinner. I was supposed to make her dinner. Okay, hold on. Is my volume very low? Thanks for the heads up, Drac. I really appreciate that, and thank you for the follow, Toddy. This is amazing. Like, I wasn't even conscious of followers, and then I did this really, really long stream at Season the Dev, and somebody who was there was like, hey, you know what? You got 100 follows in that one stream, which was mind blowing, because like I don't think I have 100 Facebook friends, let alone 130 followers on Twitch now. It's pretty sick. I do. I have a few more friends than that from over the years, but my point stands. It took years to get that together. So thank you for the follow, Toddy. I really appreciate you joining the group, and yeah, thanks for being the 130th follower. That's that's pretty cool. So yeah, okay. Brainstorming with me, guys. You got the ideas for what this thing could look like? If I stream 7 days this month, I can get affiliate if I want it. That's a cool idea, Jess. Yeah, I might actually, that might be a good call.
what's involved in getting affiliate? Is it like, uh, maybe you guys can teach me, what does affiliate mean? Does that mean I can like get, tips and that kind of thing from, well, I guess from all y'all? There's some other criteria. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I can get subs. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. I think I want to do this more often anyway and get better at it because it seems to be a whole art doing it well. You can get money. Well, I mean, let's just do it for fun for now and see what happens. And if we keep getting followers and we keep getting viewers and we keep holding an audience like we're doing right now for 45 minutes, that'd be really awesome. Okay, so we're gonna AI some stuff into existence here. Let's go with right. So what we're doing, actually, you know what? So that I don't type here, let's dictate it so you guys can follow along. Okay, I can also run ads and get money from that too. That's interesting. I don't know. I think for a long time we'll just see how this goes and do it for fun. I'm not going to try and like get money out of you all. I just like hanging out with you and sharing cool things, like sharing cool projects. And more importantly, I want to like build things that help FastV's stream. That's my entire objective with this thing right now, guys, is just to like use my technology skills to make her stream more interesting. If I can do that, that's it. And also if I can learn from you guys about what it is to stream and put myself in her shoes and also like get ideas about how to make her stream better, then that's like job done. I'd be really happy with that outcome. But yeah, if it turns into its own thing, then that would be really cool too. I think, as you know, Goldie, trying to make games is one thing. Trying to like sell a game is another thing entirely. The other thing that I'll do if this works really well is I'm going to actually do some game dev coding here, and probably I really want to focus on what you can do with AI. It's moving so fast, and I feel like I'm probably on the bleeding edge of understanding what can actually be done with it and making content with it. So I'd love to make some educational content that like teaches you how to code. So Bullachan, you were asking like, how do I learn to code? And hopefully watching streams like this, I'd like to educate people. So ask questions if there are things that you don't understand. But then also I want to try and use AI tools to make computer games. It's really interesting what's happening with that in the industry. The whole industry is changing really fast. And I feel like I want to change with it. I don't want to get left behind by the way that technology moves. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do, which is a good segue to what we're going to do here now. So I'm first going to just like prompt some stuff and we'll see what it can come up with as inspiration for a starting point. So, all right. Yeah, marketing is the whole other category. If I can make cool games with a good community of people, then yeah, it'd be amazing to see, to see what games we can make together, essentially. And maybe good to have some players come in and join like the actual playing of the game as soon as things get done. Yeah, imagine a game with an NPC that's powered by an LLM. There's some really cool games doing that already. And I'd love to do that kind of thing. But I also just want to understand on the other end of things, how you can use AI to make the stuff, not just to integrate it into enhancing the content, but how you can use it in the content generation itself. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, Tori. I've been to PAX and South by Southwest before with my game On Point, and that was a whole experience. But, just like going and launching the game into a vacuum without having done some preparation meant it didn't really succeed when it went to market. So I think it needs to be like not just trade shows, it needs to be actively promoted. And I feel like making it with a community of people watching is the best way to maybe do that. So yeah, I'm gonna be working really hard to learn how to stream better, how to enhance Fass's stream with a bunch of new tools and content and fun things like this swear jar. But then, yeah, also making games down the line. Speaking of people following me in this whole thing, maybe like, having an audience, thank you for following Toddy. No, you already did that. I'm only just seeing it. See, I'm getting the hang of this whole thing. But anyway, let's prompt something. Okay, so we're going to try and do it with voice. I usually type, but let's keep you guys interested by having this conversation with the AI instead. So I'm going to dictate this and say, we're going to allow that. I'm designing a new application that will work with Twitch. The idea is that it will listen to the text that the Twitch streamer says, and whenever they say something which is a swear word, we're going to add to a counter so that we track the number of times they swear, almost like a digital swear jar. I need a user interface design for this. It needs to run inside of a website that will be added to the user's stream with a web element, a browser source. And yeah, it needs to look interesting, engaging. It needs to have lots of bells and whistles in the design. And it needs to be a small part of the screen because lots of other things are going to be going on while this people stream. So it needs to be a small part of the stream. Can you please make me some graphic designs and act as a graphic artist to give me concepts that I can use to inspire what this user interface might look like? Let's see what it does, guys. And hello, how you doing, Thormir? It's good to see you, dude. Good to have you back here in the stream. I think you've been here before, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, maybe this is the first time. I see first time chat here, but I swear I've seen you in Fast's stream before, so good to see you, man. Yeah, all right, let's see what it comes up with. I'm always fascinated by this, and I think it can make some really amazing images, but it's a little bit slower on user interface design, so I'm kind of experimenting to see, where this goes. All right, so maybe we should focus specifically on Fast's stream first to get something that really fits her brand. That's another thing I'd really love to do more with Fast is explore what her brand looks like. Yeah, you've been in Fast's chat a time or two before. I get the sense that I've seen you more than a time or two. Yeah, man, everything's going really good. I'm spending some time here in Melbourne with Fastv, which is really cool. What about this one? I like this idea. Glass jar with dynamic coins is pretty cool. We've got comic book. Pixels are a bit on brand, a bit different. Yeah, that's a good idea, Jess. How would we describe Fastv's brand? That's another whole other... let's do something let's see what it knows about her. We need to do some brand development. I think me and Fass have been talking about this because she's got a cool website. She's got, let's see, yeah, Fastv. She got fastv.com. Gosh, picking a name like that's pretty cool. So her brand is kind of lighthearted, a little bit anime-ish. I don't know if this is even necessarily her brand, guys. What do you think? Is this her brand? Hey, it's me. So weird to see yourself on something like this. But okay, maybe that's personal brand and community. Cozy and chaotic energy. Rated I for immature. Let's let's say, yeah, let's see if we can. We're going to say, can you please give me one short paragraph that describes her brand? And with that, we'll maybe try and refine the ideas there. I think that'd be a really useful thing to do. So yeah, let's see. Yep, we'll use that. So let's go with concept 2, the glass jar. And we're going to create a design that matches this brand. Let's see what it comes up with, guys. Oh, I hit my limit. God damn it. That's fine. We're going to go with... Have I hit my limit? I must have. Yeah, I was trying the experimental 4.5 just now. But we don't need 4.5 for this. Even GPT Plus has a limit for experimental things. Yeah. Recti, I have no idea what my... WPM is like words per minute. Is you're talking about typing speed now? I'm guessing. In which case, I don't know. A long time ago, I got a DAS keyboard, which has none of the characters on it. And so like it teaches you to, like forces you to touch type. But my touch typing style is kind of like, it's pretty whack if I'm being honest. FastV has just let me use this keyboard. It's it's a Logitech keyboard. Yeah, it's pretty decent. And I actually really like the tactile feedback. But usually I've got like the Cherry MX Red switches and all that stuff on the DAS keyboard. But yeah, okay, that's kind of adorable. What do you guys think? I think that's pretty good. Not bad. I think we might need something with like a horizontal layout. I've never had the time to learn Dvorak, Jess, but I know that it's more efficient. There's like for those who don't know, apparently the layout of this keyboard is influenced by like old typewriters and women who used to be typewriters in general, like got too quick for the typewriters, and so that the design of the actual mechanical parts made it so that the like little hammers that would flick up and hit the paper with the letter used to get caught with one another. So they changed the layout to actually facilitate a better design to make common keys away from one another. Essentially, like they slowed the operator down to make sure the mechanical things would keep working. But we've wound up with this keyboard layout that supports that instead of being the most optimal way to do it. And so, yeah, it is really interesting. Hey, Goldie. And I think Dvorak is an attempt to remap keys in a way that actually corresponds to the distribution of letters when typing in English instead of, the kind of arbitrary layout that we have right now. But yeah, okay, so now we need to, let's separate this out into different elements. So because this is a good vibe. Do we agree that this is something we can work with? I'm going to start with the jar and put it, let's start with the jar. No coins, no letters, and yeah, let's even try transparent background. I misspelt separate. I love how GPT even works when you spell it wrong. It's smart. It's smart. Very clever. Okay, so here we go. What will it do? Nodders. Recti, is there no channel points or do you not have it set up yet? Good question. If I may ask a follow-up question, what are channel points? And in answer to your question, no, I have definitely not set that up. All right, we can work with this. We can definitely work with this. Let's save that. Though I've noticed, it's just a PNG. That's awesome. It used to use some weird, like really whack, weird format. So step one, I want to get it rendering. So let's just get it rendering in here, like right in the center. So we have All right, let's see, let's copy the path. I'm not exactly sure where to place these files. I think we need to put them in the static content folder, but rather than faffing about and trying to figure it out, we are going to, let's just ask, if you guys haven't seen Trey, I'm really enjoying this tool lately. So we're going to open that folder, not the file, folder, and we trust the authors. Do we trust ourselves, guys? That's the question. Interesting. Yeah, I need to set up my .NET environment because it's legit in complaining about that. That's a fair question. So I want to add a PNG to this to the what's it not? It's not called the home page. It's called our it is and here, look how cool is this? You can reference something like that, like in line in the text. How cool! I want to add a PNG to the home page. Where do I place the files? And the static files for this within the project. And then we'll see what Sonnet has to say about it. Do I trust myself? Yeah, the operator seems to be a little bit sus. He is, that guy. I feel like so often when the computer goes, things go wrong, the problem is between the chair and keyboard. Definitely sus. Don't know if I trust myself, especially when it comes to code things. But, Okay, so it is just that. It's just the www root. And so all we actually need to do is just make you know what, I should increase just for legibility's sake, appearance. Let's see, we don't want, does that read better, guys? I feel like that might be a fair bit better. 125, 150. That's pretty big. 120. Yeah, we'll go here. We'll see if we can work with that for now. Jess, I heard people get addicted to AI. Yeah, man. I mean, technically, you're addicted to AI every time you open up your Instagram or whatever. You're like it happens to me, man. If I open Facebook or Instagram, the algorithm, the AI grabs me and holds my attention to it. Same with YouTube. That's technically kind of an AI addiction, but yeah. Okay, Recti, way better. All right, we'll stick with this. I'm hoping my thing in the bottom corner is large enough that I'm not blocking anything now that it's small, but yeah, we can work here. We can work with this. All right. Is that a new follow? Heck yeah. I need to set up alerts so that I hear this stuff. Welcome, Arith. It's great to have you, man. These follows keep going up. I love it. I'm excited. Really excited to see this. Yeah, man, welcome to the community and thanks for joining. Here with the rest of us, Jacob in his insomnia, illiterate. Yeah, social media and what it does to track your brain and serve you content and push you into a bubble. It's it's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting and a little insidious and easy to get addicted to. But yeah, we'll see. All right, so we're going to make an images folder and then we're going to stick we'll stick this file into that folder. Let's see, images, there we go. So this will be the jar.png. Okay, cool. So Here's the new image. It is images. Here's the new image. Use that. Should we try and center the content, or should we just have it like at the top right? Maybe we'll just center it. Into this image, it'll use flex. Center this image using flex. Yep. And then that'll stick it somewhere in the middle of the page for us. And then later we're going to have to set it up so that it reads the number. And it's going to get a bit complicated, guys. It's going to slow down as we get further and further into this thing. But, you know, we'll make it work. Okay. Welcome to your new app. Man, we can probably get rid of this. We don't need that. We do need... Yep. Though, I think this... we get this... let's see. Let's go to Builder. We want to move this into a .css file. Just so that it doesn't clutter up our homepage. It's good to start with a few standards. I don't think this is going to have a lot of front end code, but we may as well move it. We'll accept that and let's run it. In fact, this must have hot reload, right? Where's the? We can do it with a. We can do it like this, guys. We can go. Let's see. In our terminal, we can go. Do I have? Can we do that yet? No, because I haven't set up. Man, I got to do this. I'll do it off stream so y'all don't watch me setting up an IDE. But when I do that, if I go .NET watch run, it's kind of clever. It like will watch files for changes, and whenever a file changes, it will automatically reload the project. It's not quite good as like a hot reload, like a proper hot reload, like you get in React or something like that. But yeah, it's still at the same time, it's not bad. Okay, so there we go. We've got our swear jar, and I want to get rid of hello world. We don't need that. And I think I'll even get this going as, this is a cool idea. I'm gonna make this run as a browser source, guys. So browser, yes, swear jar, and let's do it like that. Yes, excellent. Where should I put it? So as we go, we can watch it get developed. Though let's see. Yeah, we'll put it down here next to me, so you all can watch our little swear jar as we do things. Okay, so that's fun. That's fun. Excellent. The next thing I want to do, I think, is we want the coins just on their own. Let's start with the coins, no jar. And we can fix our typo. Excellent. Maybe I'll move this up above my head here so that you all can go, oh, the swear jar. Fun. Okay, we're gonna have to have some little like, it'll be fun to have a little algorithm that puts coins in the swear jar. Should I do that, or is that too complicated? How much is one coin worth? It's gonna get filled up in one stream. Yeah, I mean, if we go watch, what was her name? If we go watch, she was called Play It Shady, then yeah, very quickly it's gonna get filled up. But we can make the coin small-ish, I guess. Okay. It did a great job. Not gonna lie. With just one coin, no jar. Because it gave me exactly what I asked for, but I didn't ask for the right thing, did I? Now, let's see also. We need to, I want to test rendering a coin behind that to make sure that we got the right transparency. Because it could just be the case that, I mean, let's have a look. Yeah, I don't think there's transparent. Oh, that's going to be a hard thing to do, but I think we'll fake it in the coin. We'll make the coin, like we'll set the alpha to the coin so that it looks like it's within the jar. And yeah, that'll probably be that'd be a good way around it. Because I do think that we want, in instances like this, if we've got a black screen, guys, it's a better way to do this. We want to see a black screen, we can go, that does the trick. We still want to see the swear jar like that, where it shows up in front of things. Otherwise it's going to be too hard to read. The other thing I could do is mask out the swear jar itself and then set the transparency of this middle section to something like half opaque. But yeah, just to start with, let's get our coin going. Excellent. Yep. And I think we'll want a few variants of this. So, it's such amazing technology that it can do this. Oh, true. Goldie put fast flower on the coin. That's a really good point. Let's, Does somebody have a picture of the fast flower? Because I don't think I'm going to find this in a Google result. Yep, that's another one. Let's have a look. There's one coin. There's another coin. Yeah, I like it. Let's do this a few more times. And let's spell it correctly. In case you guys don't know by now, I cannot spell to save my life. I can code, but don't ask me to spell. Okay, Jacob's got the fast coin. Sorry, the fast flower. That'll be handy. The only one I have is the lurking one. I mean, if one of you guys has like a Twitch emote that's the coin, I can probably go with that. I can probably go with that instead. Always say please to the AI, guys, because one day when it takes over the world, it will remember that we were kind to it and be kind in return. Psych has a cool emote, but I don't know if that's like, when you guys say the fast flower, isn't there a specific logo that she has? We could use that, but we'll see. Could definitely make it Team Liquid. That's a cool idea. All right, let's see. These are our coins so far. Open in Explorer. And then we didn't need that one. Did this put black backgrounds, or are they actually transparent and it's just doing something really random? Yeah, it is pretty random. coin 1, 2, 3, and 4, but I don't like the brackets in the spaces, so we're going to coin 1, coin 2, coin 3, oops, coin 3, coin 4. Okay, so let's see, we now want to, let's try. Okay, so the next thing to do, I think, is going to be, so there are, so the images of coins in this folder now. I want to reference the file. So let's not do that because we don't need to upload things. We just want to reference the folder. I want to render these over the top of this swear jar. Oopsie daisy. Of this image. I want the location of the coins to be random. Location and orientation. The coins to be random, but always to fall on top of the the image. Let's see what it does. Hey, we got the fast flower. Heck yeah. Let's generate some variants of this that include the fast flower, because that's a really good idea. Let's see, I'm gonna have to pull this up from chat. Where is chat? Fast flower link. Let's see. Use this logo, modding her stuff. Oh yeah, I see. There's a little yeah, that one will do really nicely, guys. Third, do we have one without the FastV text? Though I have to say, like, how good did it do with the brand? If you think about it, look at this. Look at this. There's the FastV image, and here's the swear jar brand. How good is that? It's pretty damn close. Not bad at all. I think it'll be pretty good. I need just the flower, guys. It'll get confused with this text if I don't get real specific about it. But okay, one step at a time. Let's stay focused. We're going to let's see. We've got the wrong thing there. This totally did not get it right. No, rejected. Oh, hold on. Did it make a whole like script just for this? Coins.js, what the? No thank you. Reject. Did not like. Reject all. Terrible implementation. Okay, I want to render these over the image. I want the location of the art. Let's... why did it get that so wrong? No. And I'm not going to do this in Builder. I'm going to do this in chat. In the other chat. In the AI chat. Oh, what's going on? I need to stop it before I do that. Yeah. So back to this. we're going to use the image folder. We're going to use that there. Image folder. Images. Sometimes I feel like it'd just be quicker to write it yourself, don't you think, guys? We have a PSD of the flower that he redid. Nice. Ion Computer. I'll try and pull that up. I can cut the flower out. True. Okay. This I like a lot better. This is a much better solution. Let's apply that and have a look. Yeah, I can get behind this. Let's have another look-see how this renders. It can be faster to code it. Sometimes AI messes up your code. Yeah, same here, Jess. Sometimes it gets it really, really wrong. It didn't do too bad here. I feel like that's not a terrible result. Did we lose our stream element? Or are we just using the wrong one now? Yep, neither of those. It's not a good way to refresh your browser source, is there? That's gonna be unfortunate because yeah, that's not gonna, our swear jar is not gonna update unless what do I do here? Is there some way to refresh the cache? Yes, but that's not ideal because that coin, okay, so let's see here. Well, I think I want to move this CSS out. Or maybe I should just, yeah, I'm just gonna move the other stuff in. Let's keep it simple for now. We can refactor later. Move fast and then refine. I think is a very good way to do these things. Oh, what am I doing? I'm looking for the shortcut to, there it is. There. Make this nice and neat, comparatively speaking. I don't know why this is commented. Maybe I typoed. Okay. That's way better. Now we need to here. Let's see, that can go, don't save. We've got the jar and then our coins. There are 5 coin files. Named. Three. Oh, man. Yep, so there are 5 coin files named, oh, there's only 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. We need to also load a different coin randomly. And with that, when it refreshes, we should have something that looks a lot better. Currently that. Let's see. Yep, let's apply that. Yep. All right, and then we can redeploy it. And then we'll see what happens. There we go. Not bad. How big should the coins be, do you think, guys? Way bigger? or not so big. Depends how many coins we think we're going to get. Probably like... let's see. Okay, we need to put a bit of padding and margins for this bit of code here. So yeah, let's see. We need to constrain it to be just in that little rectangle, which is a subsection of the... a little bigger would be better. Yeah, I'm with you. I think you're right. I definitely think you're right. So let's see. We need to probably introduce a parameter here that... so... let's introduce a variable, and then with that we can tweak it a bit and affect its size, because yeah, I think it'd be better to have it bigger, for sure. So and all right, where are we going with this? Let's apply that. Yep, coin size is now a variable. I can get behind it. Though what it do with the CSS? That's fairly interesting. Let's tentatively accept it and see what happens when we rerun. I really have to get that .NET run working. So one way we could... oh, yeah, that CSS really did go wrong. So this version better. What the heck did that do? That really got it wrong. But, I mean, the fundamental idea is pretty easy. I reckon we just... we do it ourselves. We can do this ourselves. So we've got our style string. Got transform, and we're also gonna add in here this code, width and height with coin size, and we're going to let's put in a, yeah, something like that. Constant int. Why is this complaining? Because, yeah, we need to separate this out into its own little string. The goggles, they do nothing. They do nothing. I hope you get that reference. I get the reference from, like, I get the reference from... you know, the Simpsons episode from forever ago. So yeah, I get the reference, but I didn't realize I blinded you all with anything. Sorry if I did. So let's see, that can be... we want both, yep. And then this is our style string. Should really be doing this in Rider, because Rider's way better at it. Let's see. What's the string interpolation thing? It's this, right? Like that, I think. Yeah, like that, I'm sure. String formatting can be a bit weird for those who haven't seen this. You kind of like got a brain about what's what. There's a coin size. We don't need that. Width, we don't need this here. or that for this matter. No, we do need that because it's part of the brackets, but we don't need that one. Okay. Okay. Does this all make sense to people following along with C# experiences? Style string. Now that we have that, we can go, okay, that's going to go there, and that's going to go there, and then we can read it nicely once we have it all. Okay, yep. And then our tabs, because we care about tabs. There we go. Okay, string formatting, done. Yay. Let's try this again. There's a / that shouldn't be there. Yeah, Jess, you're right. It's fairly weird. Fairly weird stuff there. With whatever it thought it should do with the string interpolation. Okay, that's good. Let's try this again now with an extra 0. There's a really cool thing Sid Meier said. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of like Civilizations, and Sid Meier, the designer there, he had this thing where he's like, don't ever make something twice as big. Make it like 1,000 times as big to see the effect. And here we go. I love those games too, Jacob. Did you know that the new Sid Meier's Civilizations, like Civ 5 in VR, was done in Queensland on the Gold Coast by a really talented team called Playside North, from Playside North. Yeah, I would never have known if I wasn't friends with those developers that was being locally developed. But yeah, go check it out, man. Civ 6 VR VT. I can type, I swear. Yeah, look at this. Look at this, Jacob. It's not only VR, it's mixed reality, it's XR. It's like detects your table and then it puts the whole game like right into your right into the world, in the room, and then you go stand across the table from Nuclear Gandhi. Have you guys heard of Nuclear Gandhi? Like, hands in the chat if you've heard of Nuclear Gandhi, because that's a hilarious programmery game things. Yeah. No one? No one's heard of Nuclear Gandhi? It's history's, pun intended, because it's a history game. Yeah, you can go full Gandhi. Heard of what the sound was blasting my ears. What sound's blasting your ears? Oh, sorry, the YouTube volume. Yeah, that'll be it. Maybe I need to like turn this volume up and then set the volume of my browser down or something. I don't really know. I don't know. I'm not good at these things. I'll work it out. Thank you for letting me know though. Okay, so 300 was too much, 30 is too little. Let's go with like 60. 3 times the size of the tiny coins should be good enough. And then we have to figure out why these aren't rendering in the in that little area there, because that's a whole other weird problem. Yeah, I feel like that coin size is pretty good. Don't you think, guys? Yep. Much better. Okay. So next thing I need to do is, let's see, top and left. So where are they rendering? Let's, just to debug this a bit, what I want to do is draw a rectangle around where, so if we do that, we'll just get a sense of where they're going to spawn. And then I'll make sure that if we have that visualization, it might be easy to refactor the code in order to say like only spawn them within the rectangle instead of, arbitrarily or semi-arbitrarily. And not seeing it yet. That's because the hot reload isn't there. This is one of the really big downsides of developing in Blazor instead of React or something. I really should have done React. Okay. I mean, that rectangle seems right, but then why are we getting coins occasionally falling outside of that area? Would be the question. So that's the question to be answered. Debug border, position absolute, top left width. So let's. I think we can go with this. Let's just say. Let's so we're going to create an element that sits on top of the current image, and then we're going to tell it to only render coins inside of that element. So this image and we'll remove this. You know, actually, I can probably just... No, I'll let it do that. That's fine. We can work with that. So once I have that going... Oh, this is annoying, actually. I'm sitting on top of the prompts for you guys, I realize. Maybe I need to move myself to this corner, but then I'm going to sit on top of the code, so you can't win, can you? You just can't win. And we'll get rid of the swear jar. Maybe somewhere like here, so you all can see both. I don't know where I should be. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. You'll think it's fine. Thanks, guys. It's fine. All right, we'll apply that. Yep, jar overlay. I like it. It's very similar, except all. So next thing would be, let's rebuild this. And then we're going to have, eventually, now I saw something in this code here that has a linear gradient. We're just going to make it obvious in red, so we can see where it is. Let's see what the... Surely there's a hot reload action here. I'll set this up next time, guys, so that you don't have to watch me doing this rebuild. And also so that I can move more quickly. All right. So this container... Let's see. Coins container. It's not the coins container we're after, is it? It's the jar overlay. So where's that in our code? Jar overlay. I swear that's what it's called. Yep, here it is. Okay, now we're cooking with gas, guys. We can have that go. So if we want it to render like in about there, it's going to be, so let's do this as, should we do it as percentage or fixed pixels? Depends on how this image is being rendered. This image is being rendered in pixels, so we should also do this jar overlay in pixels. So yeah, so 200 from the top. The height, let's make it 200 pixels. A little smaller. About there, 160. And its width, we'll do this in pixels too. It's going to be about that big, 240. But we also, before we do that, we should move it across to there. Let's do it like that so we get some nice round numbers. Okay, so let's get that in here. We want to update this CSS. With the variables in the screenshot. The 181 is triggering. Yep. Can you use the Z order on the overlay or not? I can use the Z order, but we didn't build transparency into the. We didn't build transparency into the. What's it called? Into the jar image. So what we actually have to do, guys, is probably, and you're 100% right. That's triggering. I'm gonna just do some round. Why not? We'll do some round numbers. Okay, let's. Now that we have that, that's going to be a lot better. The next step will be to get the image, all the coins rendering in the jar overlay. What we're going to do, Jess, is to make the coins appear like they're in the jar, we're just going to turn the alpha of that down a little bit. So yeah, then they'll look like they're behind it, even though they'll be in front. It's fine. It'll work and it'll be quicker, and we won't have to redo any image or anything like that. Okay, so what did it miss? It missed the left, I think. We needed the coins container. Did it miss the left? Not coins container, it missed the jar overlay. Yeah. It was something like 60. Yeah. 60 pixels. Okay, now with that, we should be able to go. So the coins container, I want these coins, the coin images here to always render within bounds of the jar overlay. The jar overlay, there we go. So with that, we should have our coins rendering in the jar. Though there's also something else which has gone wrong here with the bottom. I want to pull the bottom up a little bit, because otherwise our coins are going to be outside of the bounds of the jar again. Which is, yeah, not ideal. Okay. Okay, so controversial opinion, guys. I actually think that the best code does not have comments. The best comments for code is just good code. Write code that you can understand, and then that's... Is this hard coding these values? I don't like that. That's one way to do it. It's one way to do it. You could just change where they render instead of using this element. Maybe it's a better way to do it. I don't know. We need our comments. Goldie, instead of writing the comments, just make the code good. And then it doesn't need comments because it explains what it's doing, like, inherently, right? Do you not... You know, do you not just like do it right the first time and then not worry about having to write good comments? See, the reason, Goldie, the reason you do it like this is if you write really good comments, they don't fall out of sync with your code. So you can write a whole bunch of stuff and it will always stay. It's essentially going to always stay correct, right? Because code never lies. Code does what it actually does. The variable names can lie, but the comments lie way more than the variable names do. So just choose good class names, choose good method names, choose good comment, choose good naming conventions for things, or not even good conventions. Just name things carefully, and the amount of comments that you really need goes down like heaps, heaps and heaps and heaps. All right, I'm kind of with it. I reckon we can get rid of the coin container, and apparently also the jar overlay, so we don't need these things anymore if we just tweak these numbers correctly. So the rotation, we don't need any tweaking there, that can stay. The left is between 60 and 220, but I want some way to debug this if we need to. So let's actually just do that. I want a way to debug this. No, there's going to be 60 to 220. I mean, the way to really do this is just, for now, we can That's one thing I don't like about the coding here is you have to switch between IDE constantly. This can be max left. This can be min left. Min left, like so. Jess always comments his SQL. Yeah, I think even SQL is supposed to be more human readable. It's like, that's the whole point of the design of SQL. But I do get you. It can be hard to follow, but a well-designed schema removes the need for too many comments in the SQL anyway, wouldn't you say? The AI needs the comments for context. That's a perfect example, Recti. If you the comments are more likely to mislead the AI than they are to guide it in the right direction, because it's going to be reading those comments and thinking the code does different things. And humans are too, to be fair, different things than it actually does. And that's really the risk of, that's what you risk when you do that, right? I think if the code is just written well, you don't need to comment it. So we're going to, this is going to be, did I do fields here? I should not have done that. That was my bad. This is const int. Max top. 200. Min top is 365. Interesting. Days of the year. That should be back to front. Max top. All right, like that. Now that we've refactored this stuff out, we can just do a div Yeah, so now we're going to, hello? We don't want that. We do want the home. Okay. And they don't need to be initialized in this loop either, like that. They can, I'll put those constants at the top, after all. All right, like that. So I want to render these values. An element with these values. Over the swear jar. All right. And then, yeah, how are we doing? How are we doing for time? We're doing okay. Me and Fass have plans in the morning, guys, so I can't stay too late. Just warning you. I'm just going to give you a warning that at some point soonish I'm going to have to go, and we'll pick this up tomorrow. But still, that'll be fun. When we resume this, has been a little bit of a simple one today, though, hasn't it? Yep. So we're going to render a jar bounds, and then we'll do some CSS to actually show that. Though, this totally didn't do what we wanted it to do. I like what I'm picking up what it's putting down, but this is going to have to be Goldie. Yeah, when I say simple, I mean like it's not like what we're seeing is visually simple. It's not as impressive as doing like a computer game. We're just making a freaking website here, so it is like fairly simple, a simple output. Though sometimes the code to do it can be complicated. Though I don't know, this isn't that complicated. It's a little bit. It's a little bit how you doing, but okay. So this should. That should be able to work like that, right? If I go, oh, I hate this about. So we're gonna revert because I don't like its solution. It did it in CSS. I want it to pass the values here into a string, a style string that you use the actual values. Let's do it like that. I just don't know. I don't programming. This is why. You don't know programming. Goldie, like, honestly, man, maybe I do some kind of like interesting, some interesting stream where like break it back and like pair it right back. I used to teach programming at QT, and so I actually have taught a whole bunch of students who are like really like the most junior of junior devs, and so I don't mind breaking a problem down. It's hard when you're trying to be productive, but if you go like, okay, we have some objective, we're going to teach some principle, so now we're going to jump in and like explore this very, very like some concept in isolation, then yeah. Man, we had another person follow. We had Kavan follow, and it didn't come up here in my activity feed. I'm so sorry, Kavan. Are you still here? If so, like, welcome and thank you for the follow, man. It really means a lot. when you're just starting out, getting followers is a big deal, and I really appreciate it, man. So thank you for joining. It would be a better designer if you knew how to code. Well, like, if you understand the really basic principles, Goldie, then you can see that, like, I know what I'm doing, and I'm prompting the computer, and I'm getting lots of responses based on what it's doing, and I know what to accept and reject, and what's good and what's bad. But you can get an idea for, like, what it's doing and why, and you can learn as you go. There's this weird phenomenon, and you guys are probably going to hear me speak about this like a lot when I talk about the junior gap, and like people are prompting all sorts of things into existence, and it's kind of like a senior developer can use an AI to do the work that a junior would do, so that you don't need juniors anymore. That's like, in theory, some people are thinking that that's going to happen with this stuff, but I don't know if that's the way that it will go. But as a junior, you can work with an AI to learn all the steps on the way to, from like knowing nothing to having something. And it's just a matter of being like, okay, I want it to do this thing, go, and then you read it and try and understand it. And then you can ask it questions about what it's done and why it's done it. That's the really interesting thing, is with an AI, you can interrogate its thought process and learn from it. And it won't always teach you the right things, but in general, it will teach you what works and doesn't work. And that's the type of thing that you learn with like years of repeated experience doing something anyway. So you may as well just jump in and do it, Goldie, and see how far you get, right? We can do that. We can do a game from scratch sometime soon. And like, if you watch the process from start to end and ask questions as you go, I would really, really, really encourage that, because one thing I've always loved is teaching stuff, right? I used to teach martial arts. I used to teach programming. Like, these are some of the most fulfilling things I've done in my entire life, is teaching stuff. And so if you want to learn how to code while we go here, don't worry about interjecting and being like, yo, I don't understand this thing. What are you doing here? Explain it to me, and then I'll break it down. I mean, Fast was saying I should do educational content anyway. So yeah, Bracky's absolutely. I think that dude does a bunch of Unity tutorials that are really, really good. And Fast is being like, you know what, doing a stream would be great, but what you really should do is make educational stuff. You should go through your streams after they're done and pick out the little like snippets of knowledge that you create along the way, and turn those into things, right? And then see which ones get traction, and if one really blows up, then just go like make some YouTube video about the thing so other people can learn it, right? I think that'd be amazing. But for that to work, you guys just have to keep asking me questions when things come up, and I'll do my best to jump in and answer them. So yeah, questions encouraged. Questions 100% encouraged. Okay, yeah, I think it's a good idea too. Hey, Fast is pretty good with these things. She's really, really quite clever. All right, we've got another overlay with a style. We can tweak the values now. That took way longer than I think it should have, so thank you for bearing with me, dudes and dudettes, if there are any ladies. Let's rerun this and see what we get. Hopefully we're going to have a big square here that sits over our, yes. And are we seeing the coins spawn in that? I mean, kind of close, but I feel like there's something else going on. And that might be that it's the points fall, like the point of this, for instance, the center point of this image might still be on that line, but I don't think that's true for this one here. This one here is off, wouldn't you say? We need to go look at the coin locations. That one, where is its position? It's top and left. Oof. Top and left. It's top. 200 pixels. 160. Oh, I'm gonna have to math. I don't want a brain, guys. I'm sleepy. I'm sleepy. But let's see. did these values come through faithfully? I believe they did. Why wouldn't they? Top left, min top left, width. Yep, that looks right. That overlay style is rendering in the right place. It's rendering absolute position, so that means it's going to be within the container, positioned right. And then, yeah, these seem good, so let's have another look. All right, the next thing that I want to do, and I should have done this sooner because I've slowed down a lot. But let's tweak this rectangle to get its width and stuff right. So and the other thing that's annoying me is we should go min then max. Min. And then max. So it goes from left is 60. That seems about right. So min left to max left. 220 seems wrong. The width is 60. We should add 20 to this. So that's going to be about 40. I was just counting the keyboard strokes as I hit it. You guys probably heard it with a microphone, but I tapped right 20 times and it moved right to be, about right in terms of the bounds. So I needed to add that in terms to the pixels of the left in order to get the position right. So let's get this to re-render, and then there we go. It's now persistent. See, what is happening with these rendering way off the bottom? I need to think real hard here and figure out what's happening there. Left, from min left to max left, from min top to max top. Left, right, the rotation's totally fine. The coin size is totally fine. Let's see, container of the coin images are within the jar, even if the coins are not. The container of the coin images are within the jar. So what do we got? You guys might have some ideas. Nobody ever goes beyond the trivial examples, just. Yeah. Some clean out by heaps at the bottom. Yeah, you're right. They're way off. I think it's good to start with the trivial examples, but then get more focused with the better ones. So I was speaking with a dev on the Sunshine Coast, actually, who's building a game right now, and he has a pretty successful YouTube channel, and he was saying that when he makes educational content, what happens is his viewership drops off really steeply as it gets more advanced. And that makes sense because there's only so many really advanced devs out there, and if you're going to be successful on a platform, you have to target the widest audience, unfortunately. So that means making your content really, really, really broadly appealing, and that makes it less specific for advanced people. So it's yeah. But at the same time, you got to have cool stuff. I would actually totally recommend this guy, Jess. You should look at another Seb, Sebastian Lange, I think his name is. I absolutely love his content. Is it Lange? I'm gonna have to find this for you guys because his content, if you're into more advanced stuff, let's see. He's going to be here in the people I'm following. Subscriptions. There he is. Lag. I don't know how you pronounce that, but his stuff is so good. I definitely recommend you. Yeah. Jess is onto it. He's not Australian. Pretty sure he's not Australian, Jess. This is just a completely unrelated developer. He's just like I really just like his content a lot. But yeah, he that dude has some super advanced things that if you're into like advanced stuff, but he also at the same time he has such an elegant way of explaining what he does. It's like yeah, he's really he makes diagrams. He just does a fantastic job of it. Hey, I would really highly recommend you check his stuff out if you're into that kind of thing. Yeah, been following him for years. I would love to meet him one day. I've got to like, I don't know if anybody here happens to know him and get like he happens to be at GDC or something. You guys gonna be like, you know that guy whose content you really liked? Go reach out because I really want to go to more events this year. So definitely going to GCAP. Would consider like Gamescom in Germany. Would consider like the Tokyo game show, all that stuff. But you know, be cool to meet any other devs who happen to be heading there, especially with Melbourne Games Week. Now that I'm living in Melbourne, so like GCAP and PAX, that'd be sick. Goalie, you'll be going to GCAP. We can meet in person at GCAP. That'd be sick. That'd be really good. The guys at IGEA were like saying, hey, you should put in for a talk. And so I was this close to doing a talk, but I just got too busy. Poor Jens. I got to like apologize to that man and be like, forgive me. All right. Top left. That height and width seems fine. So the question is, why are these coins falling outside? And I think it probably has something to do with the width of the image, right? You guys can hear Dev screaming. Yep, that lass is loud. She's gonna be fun with all the screaming at all hours. That'll be getting used to that. Should be good. Okay, maybe. Is it that the images render from the pixel location? Maybe they're not rotating around the center. So what we need to do, I think, guys, is we need to subtract the width of the coin from these positions, right? So we need to subtract the width of the image from those. That's what I think is going to be the case. We need to subtract the width of the image from the position to ensure they render inside the bounds of the bounds. That'll do. Yep. Zombies will create those screens. Is she playing a zombie game, Ion Computer? In which case, I should, if she's swearing a lot, we should use this as a chance to run our program to, yeah, she's playing Last of Us. Fair enough. Fun game. Okay. Let's see. So that, yep, I think that can work. That's good. And then we also, yeah, maybe that, let's see, left and top. I don't know that we need to do this twice. Honestly, won't that create a left and top max? Okay, I'm going to reject that, but I think I will accept this. Interesting. Sorry, reject that, accept this. Yeah, let's see how this goes. Let's give that another run. Saber, as funny as your idea is, I don't think it's, you don't want to just like move into a place and then sneak up on a person and scare them. That's immediate bad books for roommate status. We're not at that. We're not at that level yet. I'm sorry. I gotta make proper friends with. Yeah, I don't want to die. That's a good way to get murdered. Yeah, Burlap gets it. Burlap gets it. All right, there's our coin size. Where is our value for coin size? Yes, it speaks the truth. That's honestly, this should go without constants. I like it up here without constants. And let's name consistently coin size. Just because we're old school like that with the, what's it called? Screaming snake case, I think they call that. Look at that, guys. That's looking a fair bit better. Now it's rendering in the space. We were right. We were right. Yay. Okay. Now, did I get this project at all? I don't know if I did, but I really should. Just so we can track our changes and be like, we made a thing, it's working. Let's not break it now. Because breaking is all too easy. No, I don't think I did. Honestly, I think I put my git in here. I don't see it. I mean, let's figure it out. Let's have a look at the forky fork. The coin sound effect comes in later. Yes, we are definitely going to have to put some cool sound effects in there. I think Fass's idea of like an instant replay is a good one, where we capture the sound that they said and then put that into the yeah, that's not a bad way to do it. So let's see, what was I doing? I was checking source control because I want to make sure. No, there it is. Oh boy, yeah. We did put it in a Git repository, which is nice, but we now need to go do lots of ignores. Ignore that, ignore this. We ignore that. And we... oh my god, there's a lot of screaming going on. I feel like it's a really good way to make content, but it's just not my vibe. I can't be that loud. I'm sure the rest of the house will be grateful for my not being loudness, but also at the same time, it's not going to make for the same kind of entertaining content, is it, guys? So one of the things I took with me from Brisbane when I came down here was earplugs, because I knew this would be a thing. I knew I was going to have to shield my ears and somehow, like, yeah, get some peace. So that 100% good idea. But also, yeah. Okay, so what do? We introduced the foundations of the front end. We did it with ASP.NET solution. And this also contains moving the swear jar logic into its own assembly. Into its own solution. You know what would be another fun thing? Is like a tool that reads the number of decibels on the person's stream, like from the microphone, and then keeps a high score for how loud the person has been. That could be a good way also to like automatically clip stuff. We could just like clip every time Dev screams like a crazy person. But yeah, I mean, it's funny you should ask that. Funny you should ask if I'm going to sleep, because I actually do need to go to sleep soon. So heads up, guys. But we're going to try one thing first, right? At the moment, these coins, they generate inside of this space. What I want to do is I want to make them generate from the bottom to the top first, so that they're not completely random. So what we're going to do, so instead of randomly generating the position for coins, want them to fill from the bottom upward. So to do this, render them using the index. Yeah. So to do this, render them using the index. Let's see if it understands. Am I being clear? Right. Yeah. How's it going, Riven? Good to see you in chat. You just got GPT to code a game for you? That's awesome, man. What game did you make? And was it good? Yeah, Jess has got a good question right there. Because you see some good things and you see some bad things. Like this builder here, you could just get it to code you something from end to end and not do little increments. But sometimes it goes really wrong. Sometimes like these little increments, kind of like small changes you need to make in order to keep in control of things, it doesn't respond as well as that to if you just give it a big scope and be like, go forth and do this thing. Yeah. Okay, to do this, render them using the index. So that the first ones render toward the bottom of the bounds, then more appear above it. That'll do. We'll see what that does. Because then, yeah, if we do this well, then it'll fill from the bottom up. And then the one other thing I want to do is, let's see what it's done. Can you all hear us screaming? That's pretty hilarious. Let's see how this goes. Well, Riven, did it make a good game? Oh, I just knocked my food down onto the floor. It's a good thing I ate most of it. I'm gonna have to clean that up in a minute. Disappointing. Silly me. Okay. Well, interesting. This is not what I had in mind. Disappointed. Disappointed in knocking the food over. Disappointed in the way these coins went. Okay, top. I mean, maybe it did do this, but it's still spreading them out, right? So max top, take the coin size. So max top is going to be the bottom of the page. Very confusing logic. Minus the size of the coin, minus the index, so numbers 0 through 10, times the coin size, take 20. Don't know why it wanted 20. So let's see. What if we just do, to begin with, we just simplify this and say I times coin size. Now we should see them render from top to bottom. So that'll be step one. Cobra Kai, thanks for joining the chat, man. First time chatter. Cool to see you, man. Definitely needed the earplugs with the screams for sure I did. Okay, coin size is 60. So that's the problem. We don't want that in the picture. Probably I would be interesting. We should see it We should see it fill from top to bottom. We also need to go, we need to add the min or the max top. Let's see. It's going to be, yeah, min top. Min top plus I is what I think we need here. Min top plus I. Hey, that looked promising. Is that not a vibe? That's pretty good. So now if we had, let's say we had sworn 100 times. Yep, floating coins. There we go. Filling up the jar, guys. Filling up the jar. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Let's see if we can... Oh, we'll have to do something smart for when it fills up, because at some point it'll hit the limit of the jar. And at that time, yeah, it should be interesting to... But also the interesting thing we've got going here now, guys, if you think about it, is like this is essentially a progress bar. We can say, we can scale I, or like the height that it moves up from the top. We can scale that by as a fraction of the total number of coins that we want the jar to have as its capacity. And then we'll see this whole thing, like it'll slowly fill, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, so let's see. We have this going, but we want to go the top number, the biggest number that it can be, minus this, in order to get to make it go the other way. So it's going to be the max top minus this number, and then it should fill in the other direction. And let's just do this with 50 to start with. Then we'll get a look at how this is actually filling up. Coin progress bar, absolutely. I lied. It did not work. The top is going to be, I mean, let's see. Look, if I just make this 0, then it should be all up against, they should all be in a line like here, right? Okay, yeah. So it's going to be, let's see, min top. So this, just to see, this is where comments can actually come in handy. So coin position is going to be min top. That's going to be the top of the jar plus so that gets us to the top of the jar. That gets us to this point, guys. So it gets us to that point plus the total height of the image is the next thing. We want to know how big that is. So that's going to be the bottom minus this. So that's the bottom of the jar is going to be the max top. Max top being this point. So this plus, hold on. Yeah, max top minus min top. So like max top minus min top is going to be this length. Min top being there, minus, so max top minus min top, max top being here, min top being there. That point plus that point, right? Yep. So the jar, and then we need to subtract the height of the how full the jar is, and that's our I, right? Is that what that's what we're working with here? Am I braining right? Does that make sense to everybody else? Why is it named like that? I'm sorry, Jess, I missed what you were referring to when you spoke there. And yeah, Riven agrees that it would be cool if the jar smashes. Okay, kind of worked. What did I get wrong? What did I get wrong here? Why is it named like that? Min top and max top. I named it like that just because, see here in CSS, it's just like a stupid thing that CSS, so to rewind, this, you can give custom styles to elements in HTML, like you can give them CSS styling. So I'm making a string here that combines a bunch of stuff to say where this thing ought to be rendering. Top is how far from the top of the image the thing is. So just to illustrate, top here, if I bring up our code, we've got this value top. As top goes down, its distance from the top decreases. As top goes up, the distance from the top increases. So what I'm saying here is for top, and I see your message there, Just Some Guy. Thank you for chiming in. I'll try pasting your code in here in a minute. When I'm saying mixed min top and max top, I'm trying to describe the boundaries of this square. So the bottom is going to be max top, and the top of this square is going to be min top. So in your brain, you kind of have to flip it to make it go like back to front, but that's essentially what this is doing. It's like, yeah, I'm thinking of it like that. And I think in my brain, I just might have figured this out anyway. Min top, because when I explain it like that, this might actually just be a plus, and then it works, but I'm going to circle back and have a look at your code, Just Some Guy, in a minute. Yep, cool. Nope, didn't work. It is plus, but I really wish I could hot rebuild this. There used to be some feature built into Blazor, or maybe I just need to enable the tool. There's a tool that does this. Settings, it's plugins. Maybe it's going to recommend Blazor for me. No. Razor Sense, no. Hot reload. Does anybody know this off by heart, how to make the hot reloading work? But guess what I just noticed? Godot. Godot right here. I've been wanting to try this engine out for a while. Maybe I should do that sometime soon. That'd be really fun. Okay. It's got me backwards. It's got me backwards a bit too. Max take min, that's the height of the jar. The top of the jar minus the height of the jar. Okay. Top of the jar minus the height of the jar minus I mean, kind of, it's kind of that works, right? Maybe I just need to subtract the, no, it wouldn't be that. This isn't like a subtract the height of the coin thing. Let's just make this like, let's simplify it and see what happens if we only do 10 coins. And the other thing I want to do is, let's do this can be the coin size, half the coin size. And I know that BombDAS is a thing, guys, but I'd really like to, so my brains are out this more quickly. I'll put those brackets in anyway. It just helps me think about it. All right. Coin size. I mean, it would make sense that that gets way bigger. Let's just do that for now. It's going to be, we can replace this with a constant like coin density or something in a minute. Okay. Maybe this is just a coin image size thing because they're, remember the, no, I feel like the center point of these coins is way below the bounds. But maybe not. So let's just subtract the coin size from it. Just once, because that might be the difference. That might be the, because if the image is rendering from that point down, then this one seems about right, especially with the size of the, yeah. I mean, that's getting better. Let's crank it again. You know, the other thing we could do is so we need to make that coin density. So we're kind of getting there, which is good because I need to go to sleep fairly soon. So let's, this, if we do something like that, might not look terrible. Need to do it in a way that it covers all the, and then if it's, instead of red, we can make it white. Now it looks like the coins are in the jar. You can also control how a bit like that, huh? Yeah, I like that. Let's go with that. We don't need our debug border. What was it called? It isn't even called anything. Is that inline? That's terrible. But it'll do. And this needs to move up, so. All right. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere, don't you think? Don't you think, Goldie? We forgot our border radius. Does anyone remember what the pixels were for that? It was something like that. Can make it 45. Yeah, that'll do. So something happened there which was interesting. I think the Z order changed. Yeah, something definitely went wrong with my CSS here. Border radius is not a thing. Why is this not a thing? I missed a semicolon. Of course. The infamous semicolon. All right. How are we looking? Yep. Pretty good. Transparency needs some tweaks to really focus on the coins. Now, all we have to do next stream, guys, tune in next time because, though I think maybe this is the right way to do it. Let's do a little bit more tweaking to get these dimensions right. So min left, let's make it 40, max left. Let's widen it so that it renders closer to these edges. We'll see if that affects our container negatively. It probably will. Next time, how to blow up a NASA rocket. All right, a little bit too much. Let's go easier on that. 50, 30. And then also, should we pull it down and up a little? Probably not. We should pull it right a little, that's for sure. Did I move this in the wrong direction? 30, 40, 40. Max left, yeah. Pulled it in the other direction. So we'll get that across. And then, yeah, not bad. Though, let's be real, it did take me like an hour and a half. This is not exactly the fastest way to work, but it's all right. We're doing things. We're learning things. It'll be fun. We chatted a whole bunch instead of just locking in and doing it. I do want to make it go down a little bit at the bottom. Max top. Min top, max top. Let's go with something like that. Would have taken you 5 hours? Well, that's only like 2.5 times what it took me. No, too much. We'll do it like that. Let's see how crazy this gets if we crank it. Next time, what I have to do is make this like hot reload so that I don't have to do this manually every time. Yep, that jar overfloweth. Lol. Pretty funny. So we're gonna have to set up some boundaries for this. So this was the output of this stream, guys. Yeah, fun little jar when it reloads. So the plugins menu, I skipped it over it. Did I? Thank you, Goldie. What's it called? Plugins. JetBrains AI Assistant, Copilot. Did I really miss it? Let's do a quick Google. Well, so how do I get the IDE to hot reload automatically? It's going to be one of these. Definitely should include a thing that renders a second on May the 4th. Is this a Star Wars thing? Like, May the 4th be with you? Include a thing that renders a second. Sweet Jar Jar. Try use the search bar. Hot. Reload. I mean, that is a hot reload. I don't think that's the hot reload we're after. It's Xamarin stuff. We're after, we're on the hot reload configuration. So, I mean, it's telling us that here there should be some, I mean, maybe I can edit the configuration templates and like do a I don't know where it is. It's been here on other installs. I need to get it all configured and set up. But some other time. Project. Working directory. Yeah, not now. Another time, guys. Getting pretty. I really want to. I think what we're going to do is we're going to just put some finishing touches on this, and then the next thing for us will be to. Yeah, I mean, we can do some really fun things. Like we can even put the word on the coin. That could be fun, like all the swear words that they've said. So it just says like, fuck, shit, ass. We could hook it up with some sounds, but I think the first thing to do will be just like connect the number to connect the number. I think that's probably the first thing to do. Is like we have to connect the number of swear things intercepted with what's happening on this jar. Because from there we'll be able to do this. I'm going to set this up as a stream element so you guys can get an idea of what the idea is for this. The browser source. If I go like that, we've got our swear jar now, and if I then let's see, we've got our little swear jar to sit on the stream. So yeah, if we get our number in there, then as they swear, then do they want 100 coins on the screen? Very cool. I mean, yeah, we could put coins all over the screen and do some random stuff. But yeah, that'd be fun. But for now, yeah, I think I'm probably going to, let's check our code in because that's what we always do when we're happy with something. So load in the coins from bottom to top. This jar fills. Perfect number of characters. We're out of our character limit for a good... yeah, that's hilarious. Okay, cool. All right, that's it, guys. That's jobs done. We've put in our... we've got our swear jar kind of working. That's not bad. Not bad for a day's work. I've got to get my IDE set up. I've got to get some other things ready for the next stream. And yeah, let's see. Hold on. How are we doing? So, yeah. let's see. Yeah, any other ideas, guys? Because I think the next thing is like, so the plan for it. Let me just talk through the plan, and then next time when we come to do this, I have a better idea of what the heck we do with it. It might be good to have some kind of like animation too, to like trigger a new coin. Yeah, when it fills up, it should explode. That's a great idea. Yeah, that, by the way, cool for you to join us here. Crazy. I don't think I've seen you here before. Welcome, man. Welcome. Are you just joining in now to see what's happening? Can I give you some like context? You seem to have it. You understand what's going on. So maybe you've been lurking here and yeah, you followed, man, dude. Thank you for following. This is huge. We got a whole bunch of follows today. It's really, really rewarding to see that, man. I'm like, if you're following, it means you probably enjoyed this. You probably enjoyed the stream, and I really, really appreciate that as well. You saw me one time before when I was building a fishing game. Totally. Yeah, okay. We're going to maybe like circle back to that fishing game and like polish it up and fix it up and make it do some stuff. But yeah, so you like, I think you understand what's going on here with the swear jar. This is because I'm trying to support my sister Fasby, who's doing an amazing job and has been streaming for years. But like her stream's getting pretty successful to the point where like my job is I'm the CEO for a game studio, but I get so busy running the business that I'm now stepping back from it and trying to like find other things to do with my time. And one thing I've always enjoyed and think is really, really fun and satisfying is making games and making software. And so I figure I'm going to make some software that helps my sister's stream. So that's the mission here. And at the same time, I'm giving her a hard time about swearing so much on her stream. And she's like, you know what? I could probably do better on YouTube if I didn't swear all the time. And so her idea was like, let's just do a swear jar for me. And so, yeah, I think like you guys can hear Dev swearing from the other room right now. She's a bit of a, I don't want to say potty mouth, but she definitely could use a tool like this. So that could be fun as well, to get other people using it and seeing how it works. But you know, step one I think is like building out the base functionality of the swearing detection, which we've got a pretty good job of that so far. In fact, let's run that so that we can just like recap where we're at. We've got the swear jars presentation. We've got a Twitch voice to text. If I run this, then here we go. So this I think is going to connect to my stream. Yes, we're going to be looking at my text very soon. So if I run this, and also I think it is currently connected with the swear detection right now. So I'm going to, for instance, just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to go, fuck, shit, ass. And let's see if it picked this up and highlights it. Because the highlighting here is what we're going to use as the trigger for all our other stuff. Mashup man, I'm sorry. Don't judge me for swearing. How could I? Your pure ears have been violated. Oh look, it didn't even catch it. It didn't work, guys. It didn't work. It worked so well for Play It Shady. I wonder if she's still streaming, because she swears a whole lot. And we can demonstrate it working there. That'd be cool. Yeah, look at it. It's not doing a great job. I know what I was saying, and I wasn't saying those things. So, all right, we're going to go again. We're just going to go with, like, the subtlest of swear words and say, fuck. 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 All right, drum roll, guys. Is it working? Nothing still. I think we tested it before and it seemed to be like 10 seconds delayed. Yeah, it's not working. It's not working for me at this particular time. Knocking on the door. Well, that's pretty clever that it figured that context out. But it should really just be getting swear words. All right. That's not working. I've failed. We tried. That's as good a place as any. It's yeah, that's not working. But what we're going to do now is we're going to get this library and we're going to run it inside of our ASP.NET application. So this is a web application. We're going to probably have to connect it so that notifications from the web application find their way onto the user interface. So right now we've got this jar rendering. I think the next thing to do will be, refactor this out into its own component. In fact, should we do that just to leave it in a nice place so that we don't have that technical debt when we come back to it? I think we should do that. Dang it. This is how I wind up coding forever at like 2 a.m. and never escape it. So we're going to do that. We're still going to do that, guys. I lied. We're not leaving yet. So let's see. Let's clean things up. Scouts code. So coins container. I don't even need this. We've got image container, a lot of containers. Those 2 containers, yes. Unacceptable, ambiguity. Thank you, AI code. So which is which? Let's just merge them. They seem pretty much in agreement about what it should be doing anyway. That's duplicated. Justify content. Do we have 2 in line items? Yep, this one could go. Make sure we haven't broken anything. We've got jar image, we've got our coin, we've got our debunked container. 2 jar images, which is in use. This is why I need to do a better job of checking the AI, because that's not ideal. So far so good. No, wrong one. Stop. $100 or $300. Yeah, it's either 100. The key distinction there is the percent sign. It's either 100% or 300 pixels. And I guess we can just do this and see which one is actually in use. So we need jar image. So jar image here, it's overriding the 300 pixel one. So it's the 100, this one. That. What else have we got? Image container is appearing twice. So the one with flex and center, this one's getting overridden. All right, that's a lot less CSS, which is good because CSS is never fun. Overlay style. Let's see, we don't even need our overlay anymore, do we? Because we figured out the boundary stuff. Oh no, actually overlay is now our glass opacity. Oh, come on, tool. That's a better name anyway. Glass tint. Alright, so we've got our glass tint. We've got our don't need you. Still working. Yep, still working. Okay, so all of this I'd like to refactor the jars code into its own component. Yeah. So we want to make a new file, put the things in it, and then we're going to be removing the stuff. Yes, sounds good. Image, what do we leave? Yep, we left that. Yep, we're going to accept this. Yes, we're going to accept that. Let's get a look. I'm going to diff it. We've got a jar. We've got home. That sits in components. Seems legit. Let's accept it. Give it a rerun. How early is my thing tomorrow, Psych? I want to say I gotta wake up. I think I want to wake up at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I want 8 hours of sleep, and I'm still running on a pretty massive sleep deficit from a while back. Okay, good news, guys. It completely broke. I lied. It's bad news. What's going on there? Yeah, something's off. It's not rendering in container, so, but this is here, and that seems, oh, that's the problem. It's doing exactly what it was supposed to do. We didn't accept the new code in our jar file. There it is. Accept that. Let's try this again. This is why we don't refactor at 10:30 p.m. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, we're looking better now. So there it is. That's our swear jar in its nice, neat, refactored component. And this is going to let us do some interesting things too. So we could see. I'm getting too distracted. I'm pulled back into this. Still going, adding more stuff. Now that we've done this, I can't help but do some. Yeah. So we're going to. I'm going to make a parameter. Number of coins. And we're going to also forward. I'm going to go and make 10 of these. And we're going to put num coins to be I times just so we can get a look at this. And see how it renders differently with more and more coins as it fills up. Though that's, of course, it's not working because we didn't do that. So we'll feed in the number of coins and get a look at this. And then also, why is there so much space around this? So there we go. Get a look at it as it fills up. What do you think, guys? Pretty cool. Many cool and fun possibilities, just like fast. One more game, Seb's just like, just a few more adjustments to this code. That is exactly how I am, dude. I have a very, very tough time disconnecting when I get when I get focused on something. So yeah, we can see it, yeah, slowly fill up. as people swear, and that's good. This is what we want. I also now I just want to understand why so much vertical height. I guess a part of it's this image. The image is very high. I mean, should I bother cropping the image? It's going to throw everything else off. Nah, probably not. It's fine. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. But I'm not unhappy with that. We've got our swear jar fairly front end implemented. So yeah, to recap, first I should check in my code and amend the last one, and then we'll render those 10. All right, so we've got our jar that fills up. We want to have just one, of course, not many, but the next thing to do will be so we're going to need we're going to need something with a back end, because we can't run all this code on the front end. Ooh, unless, I feel like we'd have so many challenges if I just made this front end rendered. Like if I made it like, when I say front end rendered, I mean, so Blazor can run in a, what's it called? It can run as Blazor server, where all the logic executes on a server, and it can run as a WebAssembly. And I could try and make WebAssembly run all of the code so that we don't have to have our own server to make this happen. But at the same time, I think it's probably going to make more sense to just make this work with make it work as a server. Probably do something to like OAuth with Twitch. I think Twitch has OAuth available so that you can just sign in using your own Twitch account. And then we'll use that to read the name here. We'll read like, what is the person's name from the OAuth, and then we'll make it run so that it detects the swear words in the way that, it's obviously not working well enough yet, because it didn't do it for my swearing, which is disappointing. But we'll make it work for my swearing. Then we'll put it in a server. Instead of having this as a console application, we're going to make it run as a web service. Then we're going to get our web front end. Oh, hold on, more refactoring. That belongs in here. Yep, so we don't need it here anymore. Yeah, let's clean that up. More refactoring. We're going to make it run as a web service, and then as it executes, it's going to use signal R to send the number for the number of coins in, and then update that over the wire essentially. So then in real time, it'll make all those changes happen. So the jar will just fill up as a person swears, and we can connect it to other fun things. We'll do some other things, like we'll put the number of coins in the. Shall we do it quickly? No, we won't do it now. We won't do it now. Got to go sleep. But we'll do all that stuff. We're going to put the number of coins somewhere here, probably. Let's keep this around for reference. That's the other thing, guys. So what am I going to do? Let's have we should just make a notes. Yeah, we'll make a notes.txt. And let's see. Notes.txt, and in there we can see we'll leave that note for ourselves. And then that's going to come up as a change like this, so we can resume where we left off next time. Yeah, all right. Excellent, guys. That's been really, really, really fun. This has been fantastic. We had so many new follows today. This was insane. Like, let me count them. Hold up. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 new follows. So many, like, yeah, new people swinging by. It's like, that's mind-blowing, guys. I'm having so much fun with this. I can't believe so many of the people in FastFeast community who just play games are like coming along to see like random code things. It's going to be so fun when I finally get this working and I put it on FastFeast stream, and will be able to like watch her swear and have this counter go up, but also understand the whole process that went into doing it. That will be really cool. And yeah, I think just like making these Twitch tools on Twitch is going to mean that like, hopefully, like if you guys, I'm sure you guys follow other streamers and stuff like that. When the thing's done, you can just be like, yo, go try this swear jar thing. Like you swear heaps. You can go hit up, Play It Shady and be like, hey, this guy used you as a guinea pig while he was making this thing to detect swearing. You should go put that as a stream element. And then I should make a video explaining how to install it, because honestly, it's such an easy thing. I reckon I'm going to make this so easy. It's just going to be go to a website, log in with your Twitch, and then add it as a browser source. Done. It'll just work. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, thanks, Julo. Very cool and interesting. I think so too. It was great to have you back, Burlap. I'm actually getting to have some like regulars. I don't know how this Twitch stuff works, but there's some people here who show up all the time. Like Goldie, 100%, but he's already a mod, so he's got like proper props for that already. But like, like we've got Burlap, Mashup Man, so many people. Like Jess, you've been so active in the chat. I really, really, really appreciate it, man. It makes the whole thing that much more interesting. So yeah, thanks for joining. And yeah, also thanks for asking questions, Goldie. I really appreciate it. That's going to make it fun. And I'm just reading your message here, Jess. Signalar, yes, it is WebSockets. It's a WebSocket technology that uses JSON. So it takes your JavaScript objects, puts them in JSON, sends them over the wire, and then unpacks them and converts them back into a message. Once upon a time, I re-implemented the whole stack so that I could use it in I could use SignalR in Unity, so that the game worked both with a browser game and also like a mobile app. And at the same time, these things were happening. It was really, really fun and interesting to do. But I learned a lot about SignalR at the time. So that's probably the technology we're going to use here to make the website communicate with the server. But yeah, that'll be fun when we get there. I reckon like, I don't know, another 4 or 5 streams maybe this long. Like let's see, 4 3s, 12 more hours, and then I'll have a working version of this thing. Maybe that, maybe less. I hope less. I think less. I've got to stop being like, on one hand, you work a lot more slowly when you like dialogue like this and you talk with chat, but Fast is making a point of being like, dude, it's really important that you actually engage with people, and I know what she means. You guys are spending your time and energy here coming to watch me do this, so I 100% should be, even if it's a bit distracting, 100% be engaged with y'all. So yeah. And then, hey, Iliad, good morning. It's good to see you. You're coming in right at the end of the stream. It's about time we raid someone, and that person 100% is Dev. So let's do our raid. Yep. Raid. So let's see. Devalik. Man, her name can be hard to spell. Base code raid. Ready to go. All right. That's queued. So, all right, y'all are readying up. So we're gonna raid Dev. I'm gonna go get some well-deserved sleep. I'm gonna go spend a little bit of time with FastFeed before bedtime. I'm gonna probably do some chores. I'm still doing a lot, like unpacking my life here. But yeah, I really have to settle in for the next 2 weeks. And no, don't tell her to keep the streaming down. She's that much more fun because she does it. And tell her to like keep note of how often she swears, because I think she'll be a very good subject for our little project here. I think that's going to be really fun. So yeah, all right. Good night, guys. Good night, Mashup Man. Good night, Goldie. Good night, Jess. Good night, Syntax. Good morning, I should say, Syntax. Good night, Burlap. It was so awesome to have you all here chatting with me and following along. Julo, really cool to have you in the stream. Vegas as well. So many new faces here. Really appreciate it. Can't wait to see you all next time. Okay, see you guys. That's a stream.